Warning: if you're allergic to laughter, do not watch this video. It may contain some humor, but it is designed to make you think.
This is, of course, a valid disclaimer.
Thinking is good. Try it.
Oh, the irony.
I will prove to you that this house did not have a builder.
Why even take it that far? It's obviously a drawing of a house and not, in fact, a house.
Argument 1. Bad design.
Well, I mean, a driveway would have been a little more convincing, but you don't need to be so hard on yourself, man.
See this light switch? It doesn't even work. What kind of creator would make a house with a light switch that doesn't even work?
You know, before I went back to school, I was a res electrician. If this is your summary of a bad house designer, then there's a lot out there.
The obvious answer is, no one built it.
Oh, I get it. You're trying to be funny.
That is the only reasonable explanation.
Either that or you possess the logic of a creationist. One of the two.
It happened by blind, undirected processes.
AKA no blueprints.
No intelligent person would do something like this.
Then, why are you doing it?
Therefore, undirected processes give us a better explanation.
Look, I understand this is supposed to be sarcasm, but do you mean to tell me that because of a light switch not working, it then logically follows that nobody built the house? Is this seriously the type of retarded shit that creationists think is the alternative to their theory?
Argument 2. Transitional houses. I mean, just look around your neighborhood and you can clearly see for yourself all these transitional houses.
Transitional, so like no house has ever changed over time. No, that shit doesn't happen.
You can see the intermediate stages. Some houses are complicated and some are simpler. Some are big, others are small. Some are older, some are newer. They all have intermediate stages that work. The evidence is simply overwhelming.
What exactly is an intermediate stage of a house? Like before you put shingles on the roof?
Anyone who disagrees with this is either stupid, ignorant, or evil, but I'd rather not consider that.
I'm all three, so consider it.
Argument 3. Belief in builders is a science stopper.
I'm sure that's exactly how the structural engineers who designed your floor felt.
We don't need to assert some unknown mysterious intelligence to explain this house.
No shit, you drew it, right? I still gotta hand it to you, it's better than anything I can draw.
We can explain it by the naturalistic processes of wind and hurricanes.
Wait, what?
We can explain it by the naturalistic processes of wind and hurricanes.
Good luck on that quest, Link.
During hurricanes, you can get nails flying around, and they sometimes connect pieces of wood together.
You silly bear, we don't need nails. God is our glue.
This was even observed once. Nullifies?
Okay, so somehow in your mind, bacteria adapting to their environment equates to hurricane wind slamming some shit into other shit.
To claim that some builder made this house would be a science stopper.
Some builder made this house. Haha, see, the truth is out now. You see, I've always been a science Nazi, and now I just fucking killed it. Take that shit, Stephen Hawking.
Are we supposed to just throw our hands in the air and claim that someone did it?
Of course not. It was Elmo.
How boring and unscientific.
Is this a summary for your points or your video?
Science is the search for naturalistic explanations.
Ding ding ding! What do we have for him, Johnny?
We don't need any pseudo-scientific claims about some intelligent source magically assembling this house.
Yeah, but without creationists, we'd lose like 50% of the comedy on YouTube.
Argument 4. Microevolution. I mean, look at this house. It is completely materialistic, and you can even see the changes happening before your very eyes.
You mean contrary to that whole transitional house episode that you mentioned a while back, right?
Look at the way the wood is slowly rotting, and how this wall is starting to curve inwards.
What curve?
This wall is probably evolving into a new wall, which will create a completely new room.
Wait, what the fuck? I'm still waiting for it to curve.
We don't need builders to explain the presence of rooms.
We don't need corn to explain the presence of Coca-Cola.
Yes, houses are complicated structures which give the appearance of having been designed for a purpose.
You know, if you had been born about 14,000 years ago and your house in fact was a cave, I bet you'd be arguing that God done it, wouldn't you?
But this appearance is simply illusory.
Nah, developers fork out millions of dollars to build houses for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Science provides a perfectly reasonable theory for how this house came to be.
Like the non-corrosive properties of copper plumbing, the fire-resilient properties of drywall, or the structural solidity of roof trusses, the atomic properties of metals to conduct electricity, or maybe even that whole concrete thing that was used for the foundation.
This theory makes it possible to be an intellectually fulfilled A-builder.
So are you proposing that you don't believe in something that I can demonstrate to you?
A-builder, someone who lacks a belief in a builder.
No, seriously, are you an A-builder?
Argument 5. Intelligent design is not testable.
Don't worry, Intelligent Design, I have good news. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
It is absolutely ridiculous to believe that some intelligent mind is responsible for the house.
Of course, that would be stupid.
I mean, did this intelligence do it all at once? Did they just insert some intelligence at random times?
I'm guessing 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
How did this intelligence do it?
Most likely a fat lazy foreman, who bitches about how slow and lazy all his employees are, all the meanwhile requiring heavy machinery to lift a fucking tool.
There's no way to test this.
Sure there is. Go stand right in the middle of some farmland, and just wait there until urban development reaches that area. Once this happens, look for the guys with the hard hats and videotape them.
The belief in builders is simply unscientific.
The only thing scientific about belief is trying to understand why the fuck people believe shit.
These 5 arguments will convince any rational person.
Well, they've sure swayed me.
If anyone ever thinks these arguments are bad, don't worry. It has nothing to do with the arguments.
Aww, is it because I'm fucking retarded?
The dissenter is simply deluded.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, right?
Don't let this bother you. This is simply due to his poor education.
You're not insulting the honorary degree that I got off the internet, are you? Seriously though, I don't care who you are. If you can sit through an entire Ken Hovind seminar, you deserve a diploma.
Some crazy fundamentalists believe in teaching both the arguments for and against the theory and letting the students decide for themselves.
If anybody at my university was so inclined to take a class that indicated gravitational pull pulls us away from the center of Earth, all the power to them. To be honest, I'd probably attend the class myself. I mean, I can't even keep a straight face thinking of the teacher trying to keep a straight face while attempting to teach that class.
What lunacy.
Well, of course it is, but you want options, right?
In conclusion, here is a real quote in context from a famous evolutionist.
Was he also a microwavist too?
We take the side of science in spite of the patent absurdity of some of its constructs, in spite of its failure to fulfill many of its extravagant promises of health and life, in spite of the tolerance of the scientific community for unsubstantiated just-so stories. That's evolution. Unsubstantiated just-so stories.
You're such a sharp tool. You've discovered that belief in evolution takes faith.
Because we have a prior commitment, a commitment to materialism. It is not that the methods and institutions of science somehow compel us to accept the material explanation of the phenomenal world, but, on the contrary, that we are forced by our a priori adherence to material causes to create an apparatus of investigation. That is science. Science is the apparatus of investigation here. To create an apparatus of investigation and a set of concepts that produce material explanations, no matter how counterintuitive, no matter how mystifying to the uninitiated. Moreover, that materialism is absolute, for we cannot allow a divine foot in the door.
For those of you who have been sitting through this and systematically pulling all your hair out, you may be wondering why I didn't just point out the fact that houses aren't biological. You see, most people do actually have the mental capacity to understand that a minor detail of that nature will nullify such an analogy. However, we're not dealing with most people here. We are dealing with a creationist, and I am absolutely forced to factor in the degree of stupidity involved. Let me give you a quick example. Once Forgiven, Now Free, the creator of this video, has actually acknowledged that he was fully aware that houses are not biological. However, in his way of thinking, this made his argument more profoundly secured. And in case you actually do have any hair left, well, as I often do with creationist stupidity, I'll let the statement speak for itself.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.